미국의 원주민인 인디언. 과거 아시아에서 건너간 우리의 형제라고 하죠. 그중 호피족은 인디언의 사상과 전통을 여전히 간직하고 있는 마지막 원주민인데요. 그들에겐 새 세상이 열린다는 소식과 하나님이 자신들을 구원하기 위해 오신다는 믿음이 있다고 합니다. 호피족인 마이클 성도님은 그들이 추구해왔던 새 세상에 대한 비전과 해답을 증산도의 가을 대개벽과 후천 성경 소식에서 찾았다는데요. 어떤 사연인지 영상으로 만나보시죠.
Could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Michael List. My Hopi name is Wahutio. I was introduced to the Jungsan-do through friends of mine. I was introduced to Song-Ki Kim, who belongs to the LA chapter, and invited him to go to the Hopi reservation because he wanted to see it very bad. The Hopi Nation, it has been questioned for many, many years where we actually come from. We know that we migrated from somewhere in Asia, but exactly where it was unknown. During the migration, as we reached the point where we were supposed to be, some didn't finish their migration, some did, and we landed in the spot in which we were ordered to go to, which is now known as Arizona in the United States.
You said your Hopis do not receive any support from U.S. government.
No, we receive no financial support from the government whatsoever. We are the last of the indigenous people to be discovered in the United States. We are the only nation that did not side with the United States government. It was important that we did not, because then we would give up the rights to the land that we were on. Or other nations, they gave up their right, they were moved, and then put onto reservations. The Hopi Reservation is one of the very few that is not a closed-off reservation. Anyone is free to come to the Hopi, visit with the Hopi, learn about the Hopi. We welcome people to our reservation so that we can be seen for who we are and not what others say that we are.
How many Indian clans or Indian tribes are there?
It's undetermined because many nations have fallen, many nations have disappeared. By orders of the government, they began to give us entitlement to different names. So the actual number of Native American nations is not true. Even at this very moment that we're speaking, Christian societies are trying to form their own nations and being dubbed as original Native Americans and are not. So the number is undetermined. But what is important, throughout the Pueblos, we have a formulation of 18 different nations combining as one.
18 different. Have you heard about the number 13?
고유의 문화와 전통을 지켜가고 있는 호피족. 그들이 간직해온 희망의 소식은 무엇일까요?
You said your Hopis believe in 개벽. What is about it?
The history has been so long ago. Everything was handed down not by record or writing, but by oral history. Many of the ceremonies that we do teach about what is now known as Gabiak, and we have been preparing for thousands of years for this moment, which we know is about to happen. Gabiak is a new word for the Hopi. At one time, they understood it. Location on the Hopi Reservation, we have what is now called the cosmic calendar. No one knows exactly how long it has been there, but as our oral stories, our traditions, and our ceremonies are all geared to the change of heaven and earth. And thus, the Hopi have been preparing for thousands of years. All of our ceremonies are geared to creation, earth, and heaven, so that when Gabiak comes, we are to be the ones who are predestined or pre-chosen to reteach all the native world indigenous peoples in the Western world about Gabiak and prepare them for what is to come.
In the future Gabiak period, someone will come to your village and survive or rescue Hopi What is about it?
Through prophecy, it was taught to the Hopi that one day, at a particular time, when the stars were in alignment at a certain position, they were to go to the ancient Kiva. And at the ancient Kiva, all the Pueblo nations would gather together, and they would begin a ceremony and meditation to call upon who they would call Pope Ipwa Pasiyamu. In translation, Father who represents creation, God of war. He is to come there and to protect the Hopi. He comes there to guard the Hopi and to deliver the Hopi into Gabyok, to bring back what they had lost and reteach them first.
새 세상이 열리는 날 하나님이 오셔서 자신들을 구원한다는 희망을 품고 살아온 호피족. 그들의 예언은 가을 대개벽에서 인류를 구원해 후천 상생의 새 세상을 열어주시는 증산상제님의 강세로 성취되는데요. 그들에겐 또 다른 예언이 있다고 합니다.
I remember you said brother from Asia come to you guys. Could you talk about it a little bit?
Yes, I would love to. In our traditions and the prophecies that were handed to us, when I was called to the Hopi from the Pueblo in Taos, I arrived at the Hopi and it was mandated that I find our lost brothers and sisters. Where did we come from? Who are we? What is the meaning of our name?
Who do you think brother in Asia? Who's your brother to you?
I was to find the ancient land of Jason, which we now know as South Korea, or Korea as a whole. We've had many, many different Asian cultures come through and try to say that they were our lost brothers and sisters, but they gave no information about the three ancient sacred dynasties. It is only those from the Jungzendo who have come to the Hopi and to myself personally and have spoken of this issue. Part of my journey was to find this ancient truth and to bring it back, and that is what I am ready to do now.
In Jungsan's teaching, we admire God and the ancestral spirits together.
Yes, our ancestors are our gods. We have a Heavenly Father who is, and we have a Heavenly Mother. In tradition, Hopi are supposed to honor their ancestors. We too also have a celebration to honor our ancestors who have passed away. It is very common in the Hopi tradition that you have a little food bowl in which you place food to feed the spirits of the land, the mountain spirits, and also your ancestors. This is very important to us because we knew, and we were taught thousands of years ago, as long as we did this, and when this person comes to them, that the traditions would continue on and they would learn that they have indeed done the lost things, even though they have had nobody yet make announcements to them. With my being with them, we have discussed this in great detail. So in ending of this question, it's very important that everyone understands. We may not be members of the Jungzendo. I am. I'm the first of my kind to come back to the original teachings from the ancient day. So what is being taught in the Jungzendo is exactly what the Hopi follow and believe in.
In Universe Autumn, the main teaching is returning to the origin. Could you match your culture to this teaching, please?
I would be honored. The Hopi themselves have held on to their ancient traditions. The problem here is in the Western world, many, many nations have been attacked. The Hopi have been attacked more culturally through Christianity and other things, and the government's trying to force us into believing something different. We need to understand that with the Hopi culture, that this form of Gabyok is so important that they've been out of contact with the rest of the world for thousands and thousands of years. And so it is up to the teachings that are coming back to them, what is going to do the process to help clean the land and prepare for Gabyok.
과거 아시아에서 우리와 한 형제, 한 가족으로 살았던 호피족. 조상님을 하나님처럼 섬기는 문화도 우리와 같은데요. 그들이 찾는 역사와 문화의 뿌리가 환국과 배달, 단군 조선에 있다는 사실을 알려주는 것이 무엇보다 중요하겠죠.
In Dojon, Sangjani visited Indian villages. Do you know?
Yes.
In that place, Mount was crying. What do you think about it?
About Sangjajim in the mountains crying?
Yeah. Sangjani Beach, Indian village.
Yes, okay. On the Hopi, we have a place in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is known as San Francisco Peaks. It is indeed the highest mountain in our region. We too send our spirits there, to the mountain spirits. When it comes to fall, that is where we send we ask for our ancestors to please meet our families there. Because of everything bad happening into the Western world, it's important that I go to high peaks, take my time, be by myself, and there I ask to be guided by the mountain spirits. Everything we do is catered to what we're talking about right here. It is very important to us because in our past, we know that somebody had visited the Hopi reservation and spoke about these things, and these were the new instructions given to us. Nobody knows exactly how many years ago, but I would say it's within 140 years.
140 years?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Do you really believe in the God descended as a human being?
Oh yes, we knew that this would happen. We knew that once the spirit of creative change manifests into the flesh, onto this earth, that would begin the time of preparation for Gabyok. We knew that during that time we were supposed to return to our origins, okay, contact our ancestors, begin to pray exceedingly hard, that we ask for forgiveness. We ask that, now I know his name, Sung Jan Yim, would bless us and guide us.
What is your plan in Jungsan?
My plan for with the Jungsen Do, first of all, was to find the truth, and I have certainly found that thanks to my friend Sangki Kim. Secondly, with the Native Americans, the way we have been ripped apart, murders, genocide, slavery, many other things, I have come to the Jungsen Do for myself first. But I have found what I've been seeking for, that was to be the element used to help save my people. And this is very important. So my plans with the Jungsen Do is, number one, to study hard, to center myself and be rooted in the teachings of Tao. With the meditation, what I am going to do is eventually have a small little center on the Hopi once things become more established. That way, the Native Americans have some place safe that we can begin reinstituting the learnings of the Jungsen Do. And at the same time, to save as many Hopi, non-Hopi, if you're from the Sioux Nation, if you're Aztec, if it doesn't matter. I am here to find the way to save my people and then to start to teach them and bring them back home.
The last question is, you told me days ago you figured out your name, Hopi name, is originated from Korean.
Yeah.
Could you tell me?
Of course. And the one question that has never been answered, who are we and what does our name mean? I am the first Hopi to understand this. So I speak the ancient Hopi language, and our consonant vowels are much different. When you pronounce Hopi as being somebody who's, I was taught the English in our school as a requirement. Nobody ever paid attention to the word Hopi, just Hopi, okay? Nobody knew it's Hopi. And Hopi, the Ho means tiger. The P, okay, which is interesting because the I is pronounced as an E. In the Korean alphabet, the E is pronounced as an I, and the I is pronounced as the E. when we were on one of our journeys, we were finishing and eating dinner. It was as if a light bulb turned on.
How did you come up with the idea?
One of the persons is a practitioner and actually works in the building here. His daughter, Minda, he was grabbing her shirt and pulling on it, Hopi, 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 and he was saying tiger skin. And I'm like, say that again? Hopi, and he pulled on the shirt. And that's when I realized, we are the missing tiger skin clan, okay? That was the first moment in thousands of years the name Hopi has pronounced itself. The beauty in it is because it came through a child. What more precious gift than a man in my position could hear? To have a child be the gift that teaches me what my name means. It is so profound that it has become a climax. And I promised myself that I wouldn't cry. And I'm fighting back these tears. To know what my name means tells me and teaches me beyond fact where I have descended from. I know now beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's not that I need faith. I don't need to believe in anything. In our culture, if you think you know, be quiet because you're still learning. If you believe you know, you are going off of someone else's testimony. Either you know or you don't know. I now know the meaning of my name. Thus, I have my identity back. Without identity, I have no course to reestablish my roots or the roots of my people, which is in fact the most important work of my life. This is what the Zhengzhen Do can do for me and my people. This is where I want to take the Zhengzhen Do in the United States. In the Western world, if you ever pay attention, everybody loves the Native Americans. The Native Americans have lost their identity. I am the first to bring it back home to them.
상제님 대도 진리가 인디언 모두에게 전해져 자신들의 뿌리를 찾아 정체성을 회복하고 그들이 고대했던 포천 가을개벽과 하나님의 구원 소식을 만나길 기대합니다.